So do you daydream about hanging around with the cool kids? Do you focus on, I want to be popular so I can hang out with these really cool people? Do you really do that? Do you really spend your time worrying, trying to be cool, trying to be popular, trying to act cool so the cool kid will notice you so you can be invited into their group and you can be really cool, and it goes on and on and on? Do you do that? Are you doing that now? This was me in school. I wasn't overly fussed on grades. I mean, the only time I was focused on grades was trying to make my mum happy. You know, if I was failing, my mum would be happy. But I was more focused on popularity. Being an autistic kid, I wasn't always the most popular. I was always on the spectrum of either quite unpopular, quite popular, in the middle. I just kind of darted from left to right throughout my school life. I was never truly unpopular, hated by everyone, but I was never truly popular with the cool kids. But I did hang around with the cool kids, and I was popular with some of the cool kids I was hanging around, but then I was unpopular with cool kids. It's confusing. I spent a lot of time trying to like impress the cool kids if I stand a certain way, or if I try and point my sideburns, because back in the noughties, if you pointed your sideburns, that's like the cool thing. It looks ridiculous, but when I was in year 9, I was able to grow sideburns. So I was like, if I point my sideburns and I have my hoodie on, if I do the button up here but let the rest hang out, I look cool and the cool kids will like me. As an autist, now I realise I don't truly believe that hanging around with the cool kids is going to make you fulfilled, because I don't truly think that I would truly get along with the cool kids. Throughout my 20s, I've been hanging around a lot. I became friends with the cool kids from school, the cool kids I've met in pubs, the really cool men. Basically, we're men now. I've spent a lot of time with them, but was I truly contented with their company? The only time I was really happy in their company is when I was drinking and doing drugs. And was I actually friends with the cool kids? I don't think I was, and I realise that now, because since I stopped doing drugs, and I don't really drink much nowadays, I'm not friends with those guys anymore, the cool kids. I'm not friends with them anymore. Man, did I really truly connect with them? I don't think I truly connected with any of them, if I'm being completely honest. I just don't think I was connecting with them, because my personality is a little bit different. I'm on the spectrum of autism, blah. In the good way, a weirdo. Like, I'd rather sit here on my own, make YouTube videos. I'd rather watch these really weird parodies called YouTube Poops or YTPs, which you might know. And I've got these really not typically cool friends, but they kind of are cool, but they're not like the cool kids you associate at school, like, you know, the big jocks that are quite tough and gets all the girls, you know, who always causes trouble. They are my friends now, the kind of weird, funny, quirky guys. They are all my friends now. We don't have to drink and do drugs together. I don't really drink together anymore, to be honest. Very rarely we drink together. But I'm more connected with them than I was with the cool kids. The cool kids. I'm more friends with I say kids, we were now in our 30s, with the men that would much prefer watching a 10-minute YouTube poop than, I don't know, watching football or whatever cool kids do. I don't know. I was never a cool kid. The kind of point I'm trying to make, this is all unscripted, so I hope this makes sense. You might not truly get along with the cool kids. If all of a sudden your dream came true and the cool kids welcomed you into the group, you're now one of us. You might not truly get along with them. If you're watching this, you're probably somewhere on the spectrum of autism, or maybe you're ADHD or something. You're neurodiverse in some way. You probably wouldn't get along with them. You kind of say you would, you kind of put yourself into the box, you kind of start, you know, getting their humour. Trust me, I did that throughout school. I started hanging around with the cool kids, like the bad kids as well at time. And then all of a sudden I started doing bad things. I was getting told off by the authorities when I was hanging around with the bad kids when I was a teenager. You would fall into the category of what they would like, but is it truly you? Is it truly what you would like to do? Is it truly how you feel? Whereas an in-betweener group, they could be your true friends, because you could really connect with these people. They could like the same kind of quirky things that you do, like YouTube poops, or, I don't know, painting Star Wars figures or something, I don't know. These in-betweener kind of group who could still be equally cool in their own way. They might not be the jocks, the bad boys, you know, the cool kids, but you could still really get along with these in-betweeners. So if you were friends with the in-betweeners, I would personally think that you would enjoy yourself and be more contented within this friendship group than with the cool kids. I know it's easy to fantasize about being the cool kid and the popular kid in school, or the popular guy and all around, but trust me, I spent a lot of times in my 20s with the cool kids. And what did I do when I was with these cool kids? I drank a lot of alcohol, I smoked a lot of cigarettes, and I did a lot of drugs. And when I took all those away, when I stopped doing drugs, I don't go out in pubs anymore. I very rarely go out in pubs. I've stopped being friends with them all. And now I think about it, throughout my 20s when I was hanging with these people, the cool kids, I don't think I truly connected with any of them. They're not bad people. The cool kids aren't bad people. I don't want to be mean to them, but I don't think I actually connected with them at all. It's kind of sad to say, but I don't think I connected with them at all. The only time we connected a little bit is when alcohol was involved. And when you're addicted to the same substance, i.e. alcohol, I'm not saying we're alcoholics, but when you drink a lot, You're basically addicted. So when we had our drug, our alcohol, basically you become friends with the alcohol. If you find a lot of stoners like smoke weed all the time and you start smoking weed, you're likely to become friends with them, but you're not actually friends with them, you're just friends with the weed. If you suddenly stop smoking weed, all of a sudden your friendship will very likely fizzle out. Not necessarily instantly, but you will stop having things in common with these people. So, and then eventually you'll stop hanging out with them because you're not indulging in the weed like they are. They don't really think about you anymore. Going back to me being with all these cool kids, as soon as I took away all the drugs, I just slowly got fizzled out. We're all in our 30s now. We kind of all moved on a bit. We're not always hanging out, but I'm not in contact with them anymore. Like, not at all. And I don't actually want to contact them. Again, they're not bad people. I just don't connect with them. I was only connected to the alcohol and the drugs, unfortunately. My advice I'll give to you now is stop focusing on trying to be popular. Stop trying to focus on being with the popular crowd, because the popular crowd might not be your friend group. And you're just wasting time trying to be cool, trying to be the popular kid, where you could be friends with the in-betweeners and have a much better friendship and have a much better time, and you can be yourself a little bit more than with the popular kids. I'm talking from experience. Thank you for watching.